How's it going, guys? localjohn1812.
What's up, people? jrod84 here.
Guys, we're back. This is the weekend sports update.
Yep.
And it actually is the weekend instead of a weekday.
Yeah. Okay, now this thing, we'll touch on a few things, that's been going on in the world of sports. Okay, girl, this is week 7 for the college football season. And well, you probably already know a couple of upsets occurred yesterday. Number 2, Clemson went down on the road at Syracuse, 27-24. And late last night, number 8, Washington State lost to Cal, 37-3. And even a couple of upsets today. Number 10, Auburn loses on the road at LSU. And I think right now, well, currently USC, ranked number 13, is down by 2 touchdowns to Utah at home.
Some crazy stuff going on. There was a quarterback situation with Clemson. He got a concussion. He went out of the game.
Yeah.
Don't know how long he will be gone from Clemson's lineup, and they even lost. Of course, they lost that game. And
I will say so. There's definitely going to be some shakeups, in the AP poll when they're released tomorrow. I would say most of the people they're waiting on the official rankings for the college football playoff, but those won't be released until the end of the month. The first rankings won't be released until the end of the month.
Louisville lost today too.
And yes, wait a minute. They lost to Boston College, if I'm correct.
Yeah. And
no less did it at home.
Right. And I was concerned about us playing them this year. I'm still, hey, it's a rival game, and all that, and we beat them last year because of a fumble.
And Louisville and Lamar Jackson, is still the reigning Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
And they're probably still a little iffy, but one thing's for sure. Louisville can kiss the college football playoff goodbye unless some crazy stuff happens within the next month and a half that's left of the season.
Right.
Honestly, there won't be a college football playoff this year for Louisville.
No.
Of course, we probably know who it will. One team that will be for, with no questions asked, probably Alabama.
Yes.
At last check, when Alabama was up 17-0 on Arkansas in the first quarter. Okay,
it's 24-0.
It's 24-0 Alabama in the third quarter.
Third quarter.
Georgia ranked number 4. They lead Missouri 34-21. Ohio State ranked number 9. They lead Nebraska 35-0. Halftime, let's see. Michigan, they beat Indiana in overtime 27-20.
And Indiana that was a hard fought game with Indiana, and I take my hats off to IU. I thought they could pull off that upset, and that was a good game. I watched that game. It was a good one.
I didn't get to see it, but okay. West Virginia defeated number 24 Texas Tech 46-35. Number 6 TCU defeated Kansas State 26-6. LSU, they defeated Auburn, ranked number 10, 27-23. That was after Auburn was up 20-0.
And where we at?
Miami defeated Georgia Tech 25-24.
Oh, that was a close game.
Yeah. They need the last second field goal. Okay. Oklahoma rebounded from last week's loss to Iowa State. They beat Texas in the Red River rivalry game 29-24. And Wisconsin, ranked number 7, they hung on to beat Purdue 17-9.
So that's basically the rundown of the top 25 there, their scores, some injury stuff that happened, and college football is only going to get even more exciting as we progress further into the season.
Yes.
And it gets closer to that college football playoff and the selections part of it, and who's going to be part of the Final Four and who's not. And the other bowl games that are kind of still important to some people.
Yes.
Like us Kentucky fans, wondering if we're going to play somewhere a little bit better than usual.
Well, I see the last bowl projection, they had Kentucky possibly going to the Liberty Bowl.
I think next week, do we play Mississippi State?
Yes, they're at Mississippi State next week.
We should win that game.
Yes, I just say, well, you know what? I just say, looking down this, I just say, changing gears for a little bit, talking about Kentucky football. Looking down the schedule. At first I was concerned because
I was too.
Because at the start of the season I thought the second half of the schedule was going to be the toughest part. But now as the season progressed, it really doesn't bother me too much.
I mean, Georgia for sure. You're still looking at Georgia for sure, saying that's the toughest game you got remaining.
Yeah, Georgia probably the toughest.
Yeah.
Say Mississippi State, will probably be tough, because it's on the road.
It's on the road. but they're not that great. And Tennessee's not going to be a tough game now.
Honestly, I was concerned about Tennessee, but you know what? Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I probably got a feeling because Tennessee lost today to South Carolina 15-9. I probably, honestly, Butch Jones may not be by the time the Kentucky game rolls around, Butch Jones may not be the coach at Tennessee anymore.
The Louisville game doesn't scare me as much.
Well, I said Louisville doesn't make me too nervous.
No.
Well, I said, not anymore.
Vanderbilt, no.
Vandy, no. Ole Miss, maybe.
I don't think it's a toss-up game. I think we'll be favored a little bit.
It's not a toss-up. I don't know. If anything, it might be a shootout because Ole Miss likes to put up a lot of points. So
I just don't know what to think about all this because are we saying that we're only going to lose one more game and only have 2 losses?
Well, I said,
if that happens, you're not playing it. No.
I just say no. I just say you probably. If they
you ain't playing at the Excedrin-free bowl
I'd
game.
say, the Stars, have started. I'm really not a big astronomy person, but the Stars, have aligned. If honestly, for Kentucky, to be possible a potential 9-1 team. Going into the Georgia games, last SEC game of the year for them, November 18th in Athens. If Kentucky can win that game, and by some luck or whatever, and if things happen and people lose and Kentucky keeps winning, it's a possibility. Not saying it's a great possibility that Kentucky could be in Atlanta for the SEC championship game.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and possibly. Might be a little discussion of them being in the college football playoff. Not saying that it's going to happen because it probably won't.
It's just hypothetically saying that if Kentucky would win every single one of their games, including beating Georgia for sure at Georgia, then they would have to play an SEC championship game.
Yeah.
And everyone knows dang good and well one loss, if they would play in the SEC championship game and beat a team like Alabama, yeah, Kentucky would be in the Final Four playoff.
There's a good chance they could be in the college football playoff.
But that's if you had to say a million to 1 shot, it's not happening. It's probably not.
I would say, it's probably not going to happen, but it would be nice though. It would be really nice. It would basically be a program program defining season.
Well.
Okay. Let me switch gears a little bit. Okay, the Major League
baseball.
Baseball, the playoffs are down to the championship series. Currently, right now, the Cubs lead the Dodgers 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. I believe the Dodgers won game 1. Oh no, I forgot to.
It is game 1. Sorry, it's game 1.
Right, tonight is game 1 of the NLCS. Cubs and Dodgers.
American League Series is game 2.
Yeah, the Astros won 2-1, so now Houston is up 2-0, and now the series shifts back to New York.
And the Yankees are they're not in unfamiliar territory here. Just last series they were down 0-2 and won 3 straight games
and won 3 in a row.
So I'm a Yankees fan. I'm not counting them out.
Honestly,
you've been watching the games. They've been real competitive. They've been coming down to the final. Well, tonight was the final run in the 9th. Bird last night hit a home run in the 9th to get us to within 1, and then they got us out, obviously. But tonight there was some plays that I wish we could have called back. Like Brent Gardner hit a pretty good ball off the wall. He went for a triple instead of a double. We already had 2 outs that inning, so Brent Gardner's a veteran, so you say, hey, let him go with it. Third base coach was waving him on. And if you make that slide in, and then your next batter up was Judge, who he hit 1 tonight. I think it's like 1 for 4 or 1 for something, but it wouldn't have mattered. It's still the point of it. With runners on scoring position, sometimes it makes... who was pitching tonight for Houston? Was it Verlander? I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah, he was just on another level tonight.
It was Verlander or it was Kurt...
It was Verlander. He went all the way to 9 innings. He was just on another level. But there's some stuff that the Yankees can do differently, and I don't think the Yankees are out of it. No, the score's been 2-1, 2-1. Very even teams. Very even teams. as far as pitching might be off one side to another, and then you get some strong home run hitters on both sides. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
As far as that, what else was going on in the Big Blue Madness occurred?
Yes, that was yesterday.
Awesome. Drake showed up, honorary coach. Cal made a point to talk about Drake in his speech because there was a few players behind that bench, Zion Williams, who really, really likes Drake. And when you hear all that stuff about Drake and how it's cool for all the players to get to shake his hand and take pictures with him and actually talk to him out on the court, Zion got real close, but he couldn't do any of that stuff because he's not a commit yet and he's not on the team, so
right.
It would be a violation. So Zion had to sit and look at what it might be like to be a Kentucky player, and he's seen what the Kentucky gets to be around, and he said, I don't know what he said because I wasn't there. But I got a feeling if it was me, I would have said, man, I want to be a part of this. But it's up to him, and whatever he decides, good luck to that, and all the other recruits that were there last night. Mm-hmm. There was even a 2019 recruit, and I can't even think of his name, but he's still got a few more years left, this year and even next year. So,
right.
But, any of those recruits, they had probably a good time last night.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they did.
One guy I did not... Did you watch the whole beginning? Did you see Matthew Mitchell's dance?
Yes, I did. And
I didn't get to see it.
At first, okay, and he came, honestly, he came out, he did he came with tried to do a variation, of, like, popular line that, okay, cha-cha slide, electric slide, Cupid shuffle, and wobble, mixed into one. And then he had the rest of the women's basketball team come out here, join him on the floor. I'm thinking, okay, well, he got some, he's got some, he's got some decent moves, for somebody.
Should he stop the dancing? Is it getting old?
Probably, honestly, probably not to the fans. It's not getting old.
We're fans.
He's probably getting old. He's probably getting old.
He's probably not wanting to do it too much anymore.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I see, because he's around, a lot of, younger players. It's probably, keep him in the loop. Give the fans, something, to entertain them.
I didn't see the, and I'd probably figure out why his good friend and band member of Montgomery Gentry, he died in a plane crash. One of the members of that band, I don't remember which one it was, but the guy who wears the hat, and he's the country singer, the one that come out there with Matthew Mitchell sometimes, he wasn't there, and I think that had to do something with it, losing his friend.
Shoot, I can't remember his name.
But that was a pretty good.
But to say the least, it was entertaining. It was entertaining to watch.
A lot of alley oops. There were some good dunks in the game.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm. And shooting.
There was some news that Cal said about Vanderbilt that I found interesting. That he's seeking some other opinions.
He said that he might come back sooner
than what we think.
Sooner than what we think. I said, it said 3 months. It said it probably won't be back until January, but it may be sooner than that. Honestly, we don't know. We'll probably just, as fans, we'll probably just have to stay tuned.
My guess is he's coming back the first week of December.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back just before Christmas.
Right.
Hopefully, probably hopefully in time for the Louisville game.
That would be nice.
Which,
we know who's not coming back to Louisville.
Which would be nice.
Speaking of not coming back to Louisville, I think it's like next Tuesday, Rick Pitino can officially be completely fired. This 10-day period will be over with. Was that this week or is it next week? He had a 10-day grace period in his contract, and
might be next week.
I think it's next week sometime.
I think.
Their athletic director's got like 90-day grace period, so that's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's switch gears for a little bit. Okay, the NFL Week 6. That kicked off Thursday night. Philadelphia winning at Carolina, 28-23. The Eagles are now 5-1.
Cam Newton tried.
I see. Yeah.
He wasn't very efficient. He tried over 50-something passes in the game. around 50 passes, but only completing like 27 of them or something like that. I mean, he wasn't very efficient, but he was tough. He had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, I guess that's still pretty good.
I don't know. I don't remember his full QBR rating, but I just know his percentages wasn't very high.
Okay.
Kansas City still undefeated.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? My Chiefs are still undefeated.
Yeah, I see. They got Pittsburgh at home tomorrow, which
Pitt's been struggling.
Yeah, I say, well, probably the issue, with Pitt, they probably don't have. Honestly, Pitt. They're probably wonder what's going on with Pitt's, high-powered offense. I mean, they got three of the biggest offensive weapons, in the NFL. You got Ben Roethlisberger, you got Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, but.
Well,
probably their issue with them, they're probably those three, probably are the leaders. They're the veterans of the team. They probably just need the leadership.
They need other people to step up. Matavius Bryant has to step up. Jesse James has to step up, which is their tight end. Then Bryant being their other wide receiver. If you only go out there with basically two studs on offense, not counting your quarterback, then people can zone and they can design plays to stop those two people, and then you're kind of just relying on others to step up. And if others don't step up, then your team is not going to succeed. Kansas City was having Chris Conley step up, who's out with an ankle AC or Achilles injury now, and he'll be out for the season. But they have Albert Wilson. He's coming in, and he's been with Alex Smith before. You've got Kareem Hunt. You have West.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Charkandrick
West. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Travis Kelce. You got
Alex Smith, and which I didn't even realize. That before last Sunday, Smith was completing like 76% of his passes. I'm like, that's damn near almost unheard of.
Yeah. And he's throwing them down the field, too. It's not like he's just been dinking and dunking.
It's not like short passes. It's like he's throwing them down the field.
He is chunking them down the field.
And I'm like, okay.
And if you looked last week, the NFL.com, they were saying who was the early season votes for MVP in the league so far, and they were letting people on Twitter or wherever social media kind of pick. And two of the options they had you picking from were Alex Smith and Kareem Hunt from Kansas City. And there's only 5 options on the screen. So when you're a fan, of a team that has 2 of the options by NFL Network of being MVP of the league, and 2 of them are from your team, you feel good about your team. Because that means your team's really good this year. And I thought about this, Jay, and I don't know if you agree with this. I feel like Kansas City was good last year, right? They were good. Mm-hmm. They were messing their running back situation because Jamal got hurt and all that kind of stuff. And they needed someone more solid, like a Jamal, but younger, who could go ahead and hold that workload and go ahead and do what he needs to do, which they got in Kareem Hunt.
Which you know what? So far, Hunt's handled that role, well.
Great, just great.
Honestly, he's handled that well.
Yes.
Honestly, there won't be so much pressure, on Alex Smith, to do most of the work on offense.
Oh, and we forgot about DeAnthony Thomas on offense, too, and also on kick returns. He's good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I thought about Kansas City this year is Kansas City has the perfect mixture of young to middle-aged to veteran talent with the great coaching staff, and all the other teams around Kansas City. Denver, their defense gotten older. The rest of the team has gotten younger. Oakland, they're still kind of young with their core, with Crabtree and all them.
Yeah, that's honestly, but I'm not going to necessarily count on Oakland. Because Oakland.
No, but they had a good season last year, and they could easily have another good season this year.
Right.
Pitt is kind of older. Their main guy, Ben Roethlisberger, older. Antonio Brown, he's not that old, no, but they've been together for a while. Mm-hmm. Some of their other parts have gotten older. Some of them got a little bit younger.
Yeah.
So
but Pittsburgh, honestly, probably my main in the AFC, right now. Of course, you got Pittsburgh. I'm still gonna say Pittsburgh is an AFC contender. Kansas City is one. I'm still gonna say New England is one. You really can't count on New England as much as probably everybody would like to, but they can't. They really can't. Oakland. I don't know. Oakland.
When Carr gets back, Oakland will be fine.
Yeah, Oakland will be fine.
They'll win their game. They'll win games they're supposed to win. They'll win. They may be a wild card this year. Kansas City may get some injuries, and Oakland may win some more and win the AFC West. You never know. But the whole point of this is, look at all the other teams in the AFC. New England is still good, but yet they're really old. They're older.
I said, Brady's 40, so.
Brady's 40. Gronk's been in the league now for at least, 7 years?
Six or seven.
6 or 7.
Honestly,
Amendola, how long is he? He's been in there for.
Honestly, he's been in there for a little while. But both Gronk and Amendola, they can still, they're still productive. Well, in the AFC, you probably don't have as many contenders. Now, the NFC, that's probably a different story.
Well, the NFC, here's the thing about the NFC. It's the same it's almost like the same situation. The Chiefs, this is why I think this is Kansas City's year. Because it's a perfect storm. Because they got young, but talentedly young, and they still have those middle-aged guys who were talent too, who have become more veteran-like. And then they have those real old veterans. So Kansas City's got a good mixture of all three categories you need on their team. You go look at other teams like like Cowboys, like Jason Witten's real old, Jason Witten, he's a tight end. Des Bryant's older. It's just Zeke Elliott can't stay on the field.
I don't know. Well, Bryant's not that old. Probably
he's been in at least.
No, I don't think Des Bryant's been in the league that long.
6 years.
Something like that. Honestly, but
yeah,
Dallas probably still could.
Green Bay's good.
NFC. Honestly, Green Bay. Green Bay's still a contender. Even though they lost the last couple of games, I still say Detroit will be a dark horse in the NFC, possibly.
But it's like, who do they... they don't have... Detroit doesn't have enough weapons. They do not have enough weapons.
Well,
they got Golden Tate, right?
Well, yeah, you got Golden Tate. You got Matthew Stafford, Marvin Jones Jr.
If you want to say Ebron sucks. He's not a good tight end. He's not. Who else? Their other...
let's see. Okay.
Is it Dula? Is that their running back?
Yeah, that's...
Or Theo Reddick?
Well, I don't know. It's still... Okay. Honestly, I'll probably go by... Okay, just like I said. Okay, just forget. Okay, let's see. But anyway, honestly, NFL Week 6. That begins tomorrow and Monday. Okay, well, also, don't forget the NBA 2017-2018 NBA season kicks off this Tuesday. Honestly, you probably got some pretty, entertaining, games. Which I can't remember all of them, but I think one of them Tuesday, Cleveland and Boston. That would be interesting to see, let's say LeBron versus Kyrie.
Dez is 28. He's been there since 2010. He got drafted in 10.
Okay.
So about 6 years.
Okay.
He seems old. But that's still old to me. After you get 5 years in the NFL, you've been in there for a while. You've been beat up through college. You've been 5 years in the NFL. You're pretty well. Dez is not a normal 28-year-old man. He's been beat up through college playing football, high school playing football.
If you've been injured several times, that's probably going to make you feel older than what you really are.
I think a lot of people keep thinking of playing NFL football being older because of people like Brett Favre and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, which they all have something in common. They sit behind a line, and they're quarterbacks. They take hard hits sometimes, but they don't take a beating every day like a over-the-middle slot type or a big wide receiver going over across the middle, or a running back who gets beat up every day, or offense or defensive lineman who's constantly crashing each other. Those guys do not play until they're 36, 37, 38 years old. And why? Because they lose their steps. They're not fast enough. and they can't do it anymore.
I just said, well, you know, that
Dez is not there yet. I'm saying that he will be in probably 2 years or 3 years at the most. When he turns about 30 or 31, he's going to start going down. Terrell Owens went down.
Maybe.
You know, they all went down.
Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, switch gears. You know, as I said before, the 2017-18 NBA season kicks off Tuesday. So, you know, one of the games that kicks off Tuesday, I think, is, you know, Boston and Cleveland. Like I said, you got the new look Celtics. You know, with LeBron, Isaiah Thomas, Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade. Then
Cavs, new look Cavs.
And I see you got Boston. You know, with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart.
I don't know. I mean, I hope Gordon Hayward and them win a game. They should.
Yeah, and you know,
I just say fast forward to the playoffs. Let Golden State win another championship.
I just say we know we're probably without question Golden State is the favorite to win yet again.
They should.
Which it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
Right.
It definitely wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, you got other. Well, I mean, okay, because you got, you know, all these things, acquiring different players. Okay, like Oklahoma City. Okay, you got the reigning MVP in Russell Westbrook. Then you go acquire Paul George, Patrick Patterson. You bring in Carmelo Anthony. Okay, Houston. Okay, a team like Houston, you know, they signed, you know, James Harden at the $228 million contract extension. Then you go and acquire Chris Paul. Okay, Houston could be a contender.
Yeah. Yep.
San Antonio, they've always been a contender, and it's probably going to be one again this go round.
I'm looking at Detroit. Got Detroit got Avery Bradley, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good pickup. Obviously, and then Jackson. You got Jackson. You got Drummond. You know, I think we still got Cadius Caldwell Pope. You know, Stanley Johnson, I believe, is still on the team. I don't think he got moved with the trade. So, it's not that I'm down about the NBA season. It's just that I'm a realist, and I understand that my team, the Detroit Pistons, have no chance. And you know what? If you listen to wrestling, sometimes you ever watch WWE, when Vince McMahon comes out, he comes out to the song, "You got no chance." No chance in... Well, anyways. We have no chance. And it's the truth about it. There's only like maybe 3 or 4 teams this year that can... Maybe 5. I mean, Golden State, San Antonio...
Oklahoma City,
Cleveland. Maybe, I guess, Boston. With Kyrie and Gordon, maybe Boston. I don't think the Clippers do anymore. I don't really think... Probably not. I think it's like 5. You might find a 6 team. You might find a 6 team.
So I would think, well, most of the contenders are going to come out of the Western Conference anyway. You might have 1, maybe 2 in the East, but most of them.
We forgot about the Memphis Grizzlies, who are always there, but just never can get over anything.
Yeah.
It just sucks, kind of. I mean, because you just want to get all hyped about this stuff and all that. If you're a gambler and you can bet on these games, heck yeah, you're going to be excited about opening night. But I'm not, because I could care less. I mean, the Pistons may win the first 2 games of their season, and guess what? Realistically, I know they're going to end up being the 8, 7, at the best 6 seed.
Right. Well, given the state of the Eastern Conference the last several years, that might be. Okay, and finally... Okay, now to say something, that's basically, been burned. They're probably in the back of my mind. They're probably burned in the back of yours too. Okay, yesterday, the NCAA made their decision in the academic fraud scandal in North Carolina, and their decision was no penalties and no sanctions for 18 plus years of possible academic fraud. Now, I said to bluntly put it, I think it's absolute bullshit that they did not receive a single penalty or a single sanction. Honestly, on that. That is ridiculous.
Right.
I feel like there's no way in, and they were talking about possibly, the players likely benefited from. What in the hell do y'all have to benefit from? I mean, were they afraid that they were going? Were they afraid that they were going to fail these classes? So they just up and decided, okay, maybe we'll make up a few. We'll make up a few classes for these student athletes, and let's say to make sure you guys remain academically eligible, so you can continue to play. So you continue to play your sport, so you can continue to play your sport.
It's ridiculous.
It is. I mean, it is silly. I mean, it's atrocious.
But at the end of the day, they got no sanctions. They got no penalties. And all I can say to North Carolina and their fans is, good for you. I hope you do change the way you are doing some things so you don't have to go through this again. And we look forward. Do we have a contract thing with them right now? Are we playing them still?
No, probably the only time they may see them will be in the CBS Sports Classic in the 2019-20 season.
Okay, and so if we see you this year in the NCAA tournament or not, good luck in that game. As far as that, North Carolina, you're least of my worries. I don't care. Louisville, good for you too. The thing about it is, this is what I'm concerned about. Every year I hear John Calipari say, get ready for the grind. It's going to be a long season. This is going to be tough. This is one of the youngest teams I ever had. We understand that. It's like that every year. Eventually that has to become not an excuse anymore. Elite Eights, Final Fours, championship appearance, that's all good. But with the talent he has had, he should have had more than one title. I think we're in agreement with that.
Yes, I just said, and you know what? Probably not just with Coach Cal. There's several other coaches.
Yeah, that's
college
true.
Coaches around the country who feel like their teams should have won more than one title. Okay, Bill Self at Kansas, they probably should have won more than one.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Hell, probably Tom Izzo, Michigan State, they probably should have won more than one.
Tom wishes he had more than one.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that this is what I'm worried about with my team. Youth is nothing but a number. After these guys practice all summer together sometimes, they've been playing AAU together for a while. They practice all summer together on campus with the cats and stuff. Then they have the fall practicing before the season even starts. Then they have their exhibition. Then you've got about 10 games into the season. Let me tell you, the teams have really gelled as much as they can really gel. So this whole analogy that, well, they're too young and all this stuff, look, they've been playing in high-pressure tournaments their whole life already. This is not like they just play elementary, middle school, and high school ball and they only play for their school anymore. They play for their school and 6 other AAU teams, and they're playing in 4 tournaments a weekend, and trust me, the whole age thing is done. Yes, they are young players, but all the other schools have young players now too. It's not like we're playing schools that have 6 veteran seniors and this is a whole senior starting lineup. We're not doing that.
I just said, some schools that they still do.
The major contenders.
Yeah, they
Duke,
still have that.
Well, North Carolina was an exception because they had everybody sticking around. But Duke and North Carolina is going to start to see it now. Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kansas, all those people are turning players over just like we are now. So there's no more excuse.
Some of these players at some of these schools, they're probably want to stick around and say, okay, look, we came here for one reason and one reason only. That's to win a national championship. And they're probably thinking in the back of their mind, we are not going to leave here until we finally get what we want.
And other players say, we come here for one reason and one reason only, to play really well so we can be drafted in the lottery.
Honestly,
that's the truth.
Honestly, yeah. A lot of schools, think that way. I mean, you still.
Well, the players think that way.
Well, I mean,
some of them, a lot of them.
A lot of players think that way. Probably not.
I would.
I say probably not everybody.
I would, wouldn't you? I'd want to worry about my 1 year of college, but I'm just saying I don't want nothing to happen to my knees or my shoulder or something, and I can't play basketball anymore. So I'd be kind of I wouldn't milk it. I'd play really good enough to get drafted in the lottery, and I'd go sign a contract to get my millions of dollars. And over the summer, sometimes I'd take a few classes just to get my degree, so I wouldn't hear any of you whiners and complainers say, they're wasting taxpayers' dollars. I'm not going to school for 4 years.
Well,
that's what people do. They cry about it. You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. Back to what I was saying about UNC. So you didn't get any sanctions or penalties. Of course, you know the old montage: money talks and bullshit walks, which it does. But I understand what you and this whole FBI investigation. I understand the college basketball landscape as you know it right now. I understand it's not going to be the same ever again. I understand because you was probably because after all this is said and done, you probably expect the NCAA to enforce more rigid guidelines on how things are done.
Did you see that Jerry Tipton was trying to say the FBI, there was reports, and he's like, it's been confirmed with Cal at the media day that FBI, Nike's, one of Nike's headquarters, and people got raided or whatever, and Cal is Kentucky's a Nike school and all this. And,
oh my, okay, you know what?
Oh God!
No,
it's just ridiculous, man.
No. I understand what they've been saying all kinds of stuff about Cal. Even before he got there, they're probably based. I guess that's probably why a lot of people, probably don't. A lot of coaches probably don't care for, or a lot of teams schools don't want him as head coach. Based on his past misdoings at UMass.
Even if they're,
but like people. The shit that happened in Memphis was like damn near 10 years ago, and the stuff at UMass was over 20 years ago. Let it go. And y'all, and I know they've probably been waiting. They're probably just sitting back in their chairs, just dying for them. Honestly, for them to come up with some stuff, it's been.
Oh, he didn't pay a parking ticket, or something. I'm
like, okay, y'all. It's been 8 years. This is season 9. Still waiting. Nothing. And honestly, and you know what? You probably won't get nothing.
Probably won't. And Duke's. I think Duke's a Nike school.
But you can't dish no dirt on Duke either.
Duke.
No.
And I don't know, guys. I think it's just pathetic. I'm ready just to play college basketball. Let's get it on.
I'd have been like, y'all, come on. Let's fast forward. Okay, opening night for college basketball is November 10th. Hurry up and fast forward. Let's get to it.
It's just been a stain on college basketball with Louisville and the North Carolina thing. And if I was Louisville fans, I would be kind of agitated that North Carolina did do something, but there's nothing done to them. And Louisville, you did more than one thing. Now we know you did the stripper situation and the escorts, and then now you even done the money situation with your own coach and players. So.
That's true.
But best of luck though, still to Louisville, because they're one of our schools that we play, and we don't want them to be. A lot of people say, "Oh, we want them to go down and drown and all that." I don't want it that bad. I still want them to where they're competitive and they can be ranked, and so we can play them and beat them and help us get a better seeding in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Same thing with North Carolina. So, but good luck to everybody this year.
Yeah. Okay. That's
that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. 38 minutes. It's a long time, but we're finally to the end of our weekend sports update. We hope you tune in next weekend or someday next week when we go over what's been going on in sports.
Yeah. Until
then, we'll see you later. Don't forget to like and
subscribe,
comment,
share,
and then we'll talk to you guys next weekend.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Take care, y'all.